In this demonstration, I'm going to show you the installation of Windows 7 Ultimate. So the computer boots up and you'll notice that it'll say press any key. That'll automatically start the Windows pre-installation environment, which you're seeing booting up right now. And once this is started up, you're going to see setup.exe actually running. And I've sped everything up considerably. This is where we pick our locale and our keyboard. We'll just click next. Then we have three options: install, learn a little bit more, or repair. Again, this part has been sped up again. And here we see the EULA. We'll just click accept. And then the next is where we either upgrade or do a custom install, which is a new install. Here we see the disk partitioner. This is basic mode. We can click on that. And we can actually choose to create partitions, delete partitions. If we just click on that and say next, it'll just basically partition it out, as if we had done that from the start. And here again, this is sped up considerably. It's going to copy all the files over. It's going to actually expand the files, which takes the most amount of time. What we're actually seeing here is it's getting ready to actually do the first reboot, where it'll actually boot into the operating system that it's copying over right now and installing. And it'll actually run the rest of the setup from there, and we actually have another reboot after that. But what's critical here is that when it reboots here in another second or two, it's actually going to start up into the operating system, and this is where hardware detection, this is where the actual operating system puts itself together and then sets up the permissions, the registry, and reboots for what you'd call the first time or first run experience, and that's the second reboot that we'll see here. So here we see setup running again. It says it's completing the installation, and again I've sped this up considerably. And here we go, it's going to restart, and this is actually the first run. So this is the first time that we're actually starting up the operating system, and we're going to basically just go through the post-configuration piece, which is setting up the computer name, the first user, and again it says setting up, and loads into the general portion of the setup where we'll set up a username, and this is the first user that will be able to log on to the system. As we type in the username, you'll see the PC name also changes. The next dialog box here will be asked for a password for that user, and for the sake of the demonstration I'm just going to make it password. However, a password hint is required, so I'm going to make that password as well. The next dialog box, it'll actually ask you for the serial number of the product, and to activate, I always recommend you don't do this and you run it for 30 days to make sure that if you have any changes you don't have to activate it. Here we'll just pick use recommended settings. We'll pick our time zone, change the clock if need be, and here we're going to set our firewall posture, home, all the way to the most rigorous, which is public. Now again, this piece has been sped up again, but it's going to configure all your personal settings and get ready to log you on with the account that you just created for the first time. So we'll see the Windows donut here spin, and in a few seconds we're logged on with the brand new profile. And at this point you're pretty much done with the setup.